Hey everybody, it's Christian from Human Risk, and I want to talk to you today about smart motorways. This is a relatively new invention here in the UK, and it involves increasing the flow and capacity of motorways, that's freeways for my American viewers, by doing some things like introducing variable speed limits, so signs that they can change that shift the speed limit according to the flow of the road. Most controversially also includes using the hard shoulder, that's the lane at the side that you pull out to if you break down or have had an accident, using that as an additional lane when it gets really busy. Now, understandably, this has caused a number of accidents. People have been hit by traffic not understanding the rules or not reacting to the signs that tell you what speed to travel at or which lanes you can or can't travel in. And the hard shoulder has been one that's been particularly controversial. Now, I raised this topic because, one, I think it's a fascinating attempt to build extra capacity out of nothing, so theoretically very smart, but from a practical perspective ignores the fact that people don't like change and that the sort of changes they're proposing are quite complex. And there was an interview in the press this weekend with the chairman or the CEO of the highways agency who control the highways in the UK, and he was saying that smart motorways are a good idea. The problem with it is that people do stupid things. In other words, he's blaming the drivers for the flaws in the system rather than the way the system is designed itself. And I thought this was a really interesting example that highlights a nice human risk lesson here. All too often when we design frameworks or new systems, what we do is we design it for the way we would like people to behave. We don't think about the way they actually behave, and then when things go wrong, we tend to blame them rather than looking at the flaws in the design in the first place. And of course, I'm not saying we should let people off the hook if they've done something stupid, but it is worth thinking about that if you have something you've designed and lots of people aren't doing what you want, then chances are there is a flaw in your design as much as there is in the people's behavior, and it's probably worth going back and having a look and seeing what you could design differently to get the outcomes you're looking for, rather than just assuming it's a problem of reprogramming people. The other thing I wanted to highlight with this particular case is that calling it a smart motorway is probably unhelpful, because we often in life use adjectives for things to try and get people to see it differently. So if you've ever received gentle reminders by email or seen polite notices, you'll know what I mean. Just because somebody uses that word doesn't actually mean that's how we perceive it. And in fact, if we have an opposite reaction, in other words, the word that they have used to describe something is precisely the opposite of how we feel about it, then that becomes irritating rather than helpful. So I would suggest to the highways agency that calling it smart motorways doesn't necessarily make it smart. So hopefully 2 human risk lessons there for you. I'll see you very soon in another video.